Here's what I am willing to do for free. And again, I believe in giving value up front, just not unlimited value, because if I provide you with all of my time and all of my knowledge and all of my experience initially, I'm really devaluing a lot of our industry, a lot of my experience, a lot of what I know. So I would rather hold that and ensure that this client is more serious about using us. So what I'm willing to do for free, hop on a phone call, read the email carefully, respond thoughtfully, ask high-level clarifying questions, explain how my process works, and set some expectations around scope, budget, and what the next steps would be, right? So what does this look like in real life, real terms? 10 or 15 minutes of my time. Probably not more than that. If I have to spend a half hour on this, it's too much for me. I'm not going to dig into drawings really very thoroughly. I'm not going to provide any takeoffs. I'm not going to touch base with subcontractors. There's going to be no pricing exercises. And this is not me being guarded. This is not me trying to hide anything. This is me understanding my professional expertise and that there is value associated with that, but I'm not going to give that away for free. I'll give a lot of that away for free to you guys and girls who are listening to this, who are people looking to better themselves. But when it comes to our industry, too many men and women give too much away for free to clients that's just the expectation. And there's so many hours each and every year that our industry is just conceding to clients who are wasting our time and who are never going to hire us. So I want all of you as small business owners to understand that and understand that you can provide value during these initial inquiries and interactions, but you don't have to give away much for free. So where does the line become unclear? When do you start working for free? Right? Where is that line in the sand? So for me, when I start reviewing plans in detail, when I start really analyzing, studying photos, site conditions, when I'm taking a ride out to the job and meeting with the clients and sitting down with the clients and interviewing the clients in person, when I begin to provide layout recommendations or ideas for the job, right, when somebody's asking us, can you tell us what you do differently? At that point, I'm giving my professional insight, knowledge, and experience, and there's a cost that's going to be associated with that. It's consulting, right? You're hiring me to consult on behalf of you and your project, and at that point, I need to be getting paid for it. When you start value engineering, that's another really great example. What if we didn't want to spend that much? What if we changed this, right? There's a lot of work that's involved with that, and you need to make sure that you're not providing that for free. So this is experience-based consulting. If your clients want more information than that, you are serving as a consultant on this job. That's part of our pre-construction process. Even if you don't have a pre-construction process, you have to understand that your knowledge, your experience is worth something, and you cannot provide that value by just giving something away for free. That cannot be the sell. That cannot be the differentiator for you. So if I need to open up drawings and really dig into them, if I need to think through sequencing, consider assemblies, begin to start calling multiple trades or run numbers, we are no longer in the inquiry mode or the inquiry aspect of that job. We are entering or fully within paid pre-construction or consulting, or just a simple, this is what it costs for me to come out and understand what your job looks like, right? So it just may be a one-time fee there. So how do I draw this line with clients that I haven't worked with potential leads that I may want to work with, without being defensive or without just sounding like an asshole or, right, this pompous, arrogant contractor who doesn't have time for these clients? So you have to understand, you have to differentiate between the emotional side of things and the procedural side of things, right? If I start telling them I have to protect my time, right, all the reasons that we're actually doing this emotionally, that we work too much for free, that there's not a ton of money in this industry, that I have a family to feed, all of those things are emotional responses to this. I want this to be more procedural and more objective than subjective, right? So an example of that, right? It comes down to the way that you're going to respond to the language. I'm happy to dig into that, but that level of analysis is part of our pre-construction process. The next step would be to engage in a pre-con. Whatever level you may need, we'll have to understand that better in order to sign you into that pre-construction, but that allows us to work through this project thoroughly and accurately. I'm not justifying what I'm doing. I'm not apologizing that this is the way that I work. I'm not defensive. I'm just stating what's factual, right? I'm just being clear. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, hey, this is all that I have at this point. In order to get to the next step, I need this information. So one of the leads that came in was for a leak on a small side door roof, but it's curved and it has a lead roof on it right now. It's an older home, so it's just honestly, it's been let go too long. So there's a lot of work that's required to restore it or rebuild it. It's not just a simple shed roof that's attached to the side of a new construction house with vinyl siding, right? There's I don't know what's under it. It's an older home, so I would imagine that it's probably an old cedar clapboard. They put aluminum siding over it, and then there's this lead roof and this radius roof with a natural wood beadboard ceiling. So it's tired. It hasn't been maintained, but I don't know, is that leaking inside? I don't know what's under, what the flashing looks like on that aluminum siding. I don't understand just how extensive the damage is. I can see from some photos that I asked from them as far as where it's leaking, but I'm not sure if it's going inside. I'm not sure how that's tied into the building. Is it a structural clapboard with no sheathing that flashing is going to be an issue, right? That I have to pull the aluminum and then I have to pull the structural clapboard and then I have to put blocking in to be able to tie our waterproofing in. I'm just not sure at this point, and it's a lot of exploratory work to understand what we need to fix in order to make this right. So the information that I provided, I asked a few questions, right? Are there any other porches or roofs that we're looking to match? Are you looking to maintain this design? What type of materials are you looking to use? What type of siding do I believe I'm seeing in these photos? And then also, are there any signs of water on the interior of this? So I'm asking some questions that are give me an idea of where this job may go and how much it may actually expand past just face value of, hey, we're pulling a roof off the side of the house and we're putting one back on to match. Because a lot of times that's what clients and contractors think, but I'm trying to get ahead of that. I'm trying to understand how much is involved. So it's a tough one, right? It's a referral from a good designer who's a friend of mine. It's a unique job. It's a challenging job. There's potential for it to go to extend way past what I believe are the issues, being that it's degraded this much. But this is really all I can do at this point without getting eyes on this job, without meeting the clients. It's in an area where I work a lot. So with this job, I'm willing to stop by that job, just take a peek at things and get a better idea of what may or may not be happening based on seeing it in person. But really, that's where my free time's going to end. If this was an area where I don't work, I'd have to say, hey, at this point, like, I believe this is what is entailed with this project, but I don't really know until we dig into things. We're going to have to remove some trim, do some exploratory demo, understand what the current state of this job is before I give you much more information. With this job, it's a unique situation. I work in that area. I'm actually working around the corner, so I'm willing to just stop out and put eyes on it. That would be the next concession of my time. That might be a lunch break, right? It might be a coffee break. It might be before or after work where it's not really costing me much time, and it's going to show good faith on my behalf. But I'm not going to give much more than that away for free at this point.